Alright guys, welcome to drug reconciliation. So some of you guys really understood what I was trying to get you to do, and some of you guys, you still struggle a little bit, and that's okay. That's why you're here. You're here to learn. So here's your list of medications, and the patient just wants them refilled. I just want to live my life. Everything is great. I don't know even why I'm here. Alright, and so he's coming in with Vicodin for impacted wisdom teeth and Miralax for his constipation. Okay, and so what I'm having you do is list the symptoms for each medical condition. All right, so impacted teeth, you're having bad breath, you're having a taste in your mouth, swelling of the face, fever, jaw pain. For the constipation, you're having abdominal pain, bloating, decreased stooling, difficulty stooling, decreased appetite. For each medication, list at least 5 common or life-threatening side effects. So Vicodin causes constipation, drowsiness, headache, difficulty peeing, mood changes. For Miralax, it causes nausea, abdominal pain, diarrhea, bloating, excess gas. Do any of the common or life-threatening side effects of the medications match up with the symptoms of the patient's medical condition? Well, yes. Which one? All right, Vicodin is causing constipation, right? Um, this is what you want to do, right? I'm trying to rule out that Facebook effect where I ask, hey, is the couch still available? If so, when can I get it? And is the couch from a smoke-free home? Yes. Well, yes to what? So you ask them, is the couch available? Yes. Is it from, how much you want it for? $200. Does it come from a smoke-free home? No. Right? So I'm really just kind of nailing all these things down. Some of you guys, like Dr. Perkins, you're asking the same question more than one time. I'm really nailing it down because unfortunately some people are missing it, right? So, the Vicodin is going to be causing constipation. Okay, what drug families do each of the following medications belong to? List them here. Vicodin is an opioid. Miralax belongs to polyethylene glycol family. So why am I having you do this? Well, as I mentioned before, the Vicodin is causing constipation. Well, what is Vicodin? It's an opioid. So it'd be kind of crazy to take them off Vicodin just to put them on a different form of Vicodin, right? Why? Because all opioids are going to work roughly the same, right? So changing them from one member of a drug family to a different member of a drug family is kind of like, let's say you and Bob are married and you're having children with 3 arms. So you decide to divorce Bob to marry his brother. Well, that's not very smart because there's a really high chance you're going to have children with 3 arms. Because Bob's brother is going to carry a lot of the same genes. He's going to do things a lot of the same way as his brother. It's not a 100% guarantee, but it's pretty crazy. All right, so really not a good idea there. So if you're getting rid of a drug, you don't want to go back to another drug in the same drug family. You want to use a totally different family here. And so this brings us to the next point. What are common drug families to treat the medical condition? All right. So just for the sake of simplicity with the impacted tooth, I just focused on the pain, right? Now you could deal with infections and all the classes of antibiotics and so on there. We're just making it simple. We're just going to focus on the pain. So NSAIDs, corticosteroids, opioids, muscle relaxants, antidepressants, anticonvulsants, and a nerve block. All right. What are 5 drug classes that treat constipation? Bulk forming laxative, osmotic laxative, stimulant laxative, stool softeners, peripheral opioid receptor antagonist. All right. If a medication is causing a symptom of that medical condition, please let me know what you want to do with that medication. So it's not just medications in general, it's with this list, right? So for example, in our situation, Vicodin was causing constipation. So what do you want me to do about Vicodin? Well, I want you to replace Vicodin with something else. that's not going to cause constipation. Well, what is that something else? In this case, it's ibuprofen. All right. Next thing that we got right here. If a patient was being treated for a medical condition that may have been a side effect, please let me know what you want me to do with the medication they're currently taking for that condition. All right. So in this case, the patient is taking Miralax for constipation. Why were they constipated in the first place? Because they were taking Vicodin. So now that I switched them from Vicodin to something else, what are we going to do about that constipation? All right. So I'm going to discontinue the Miralax as the constipation was just a side effect of Vicodin. 9. Are there any moderate to major drug-drug interactions in the current list? No. Right? Now, I don't care that there's a major drug-drug interaction between Vicodin and, let's say, Tums. The patient's not on Tums. I don't care that there's a major drug-drug interaction between these meds and alcohol. The patient's not drinking alcohol. Does that make sense? So you're only going to focus on the ones that deal with what the patient is on. Okay, so which drugs do you want me to change? Well, I want you to replace Vicodin with ibuprofen. What is the new drug that you're going to place the patient on? Once again, I've replaced Vicodin with ibuprofen. Realistically, this 10 and 11 could have been fused as one question, but some people would just have said Vicodin, and then they would over here say ibuprofen, right? So, you want to be able to give a complete answer, right? Hey, I'm going to replace Vicodin with ibuprofen, but because some people struggle to do that, I asked 2 questions instead of just one. Please state what your new drug list is here and why you made the changes that you have made. Good luck. Alright, so here's what I did. I replaced Vicodin with ibuprofen as Vicodin was causing constipation. I'm going to discontinue the Miralax as constipation was a side effect of using Vicodin. If the constipation continues, the patient may resume using Miralax, right? And the reason for this is sometimes this can be a little bit complicated. And so we're just kind of doing a quick summary right here where we're putting all the information together. With 2 meds, it's not that bad. But when you have 14 meds, this becomes very helpful because, you got all in one place where you can see it.